Good morning, champions! Coach Tina here. Oh my gosh, what is magnificent in your life today? Yeah, that's the question I'm asking myself. In fact, I heard someone say the word magnificent this week, and I smiled. I literally was like, this is what I'm living right now. And in this moment, this is my magnificent. Let me turn my camera around. Yes, look it. We are at a beautiful location in Point Loma, San Diego. You can see San Diego across there. There's the bridge to Coronado, and then you've got the downtown with the base. We're at Point Loma, so a military location. Isn't it gorgeous, you guys? And the waves are slowly beating on the rocks down there. I'm just loving it. So, you know that this is my series called Midlife Magnificent. And I just turned 60 a couple weeks ago now. And I'm considering this midlife. I didn't have a crisis in my 30s and my 40s and my 50s. In fact, each of those decades was an amazing time period for me. And now I'm going into my 60s just full of excitement about what's to come. You may be wondering, when you get to your 60s, is it like a scary time period? Do you hate it? What's happening? For me, I don't feel 60 at all. In fact, I keep looking in the mirror and going, I don't feel 60. Maybe I look 60, but I don't think so. You know, I mean, like, it's kind of crazy to think about. So 60 is just a number. 60 doesn't mean anything. But what means something is when you are purposeful in your life about what it is you're doing. I heard an amazing thing yesterday, and it was about the purpose that we have. And I was thinking, those of us that are searching for our purpose are missing out. Instead of just declaring, this is why I'm here, from what you know in this moment, and going after it. And maybe it'll change in a week or a month or a year. But you still then are following that purpose with the passion and the drive and the external oomph, for lack of a better word. So, if you don't know me, I am Coach Tina, and I am in San Diego this week. Normally I operate out of my home base in Oklahoma, although it seems like lately home base is a little bit of a misnomer, because I've been a lot of different places, and I'm continuing to fill out the path of travel this year, and it's such a thrill. It's such an excitement. I'm really enjoying the uncertainty that I am embracing as I enter this new half of my life. It can be, as someone who is addicted to certainty, it can be a bit of a stretch to keep pushing yourself to a new level, to a new normal. And yet, it's not quite as earth-shattering as I thought it would be. I remember when I was teaching my girls how to drive. So my oldest daughter was my actual, like, I did the driver's ed training for her. And there was this one time when we went out and I forgot to show her what to do when you're getting on a freeway, that you look over your shoulder before you enter. A little bit late to tell her that as we were doing it, and there was a truck coming that had to get around her very quickly and go this way. Now, I saw it all. I couldn't really correct it. That was happening so fast. I didn't want her to like swerve into him, so we stayed our course. The truck went on, and she never even noticed that this had happened. And yet, there was this moment where I was like, oh no. And at the end, she was feeling there was another incident that was a little bit off. And she said, Mom, I did such a bad job. And I said, honey, we got there. We survived. You were in one piece, and we didn't leave anybody else hurting. We might have given him a little bit of a heart attack, but we were all safe. And sometimes you have to see that as the standard, right? No harm, no foul. But everything was okay. And so sometimes we have to remind our nervous system, maybe that was different, maybe that was new, maybe that was uber exciting at a level we haven't experienced before, but we made it through. We're still here, we're alive and kicking, and we're doing well. So Carrie, thank you for joining. I'm happy to see you. So life can be magnificent. And what do you do to have a magnificent life? Well, I already told you the very first thing is you claim it, you name it, you declare that this is magnificent. Even if, like sometimes it isn't exactly the way that you planned it or wanted, or there could be something better, like own it for what it is and appreciate the hell out of it. Have that gratitude, have that grace for what life is giving you in this moment, even if it's not the best. We had a sermon about a month ago, probably 6 weeks ago, where our pastor had said, saying that whatever comes at you is good, because we don't know why it's happening. We don't know the ultimate reason behind things. We don't know why an obstacle might be in our way. It might be a good thing that obstacle is there, and we don't know it. And so he just kept reminding us to say this is good. Now, when Chris was going through his medical crisis, I did not really feel like this is good, right? But I also trusted so much that God had me. I just didn't understand the whole, I was like, what is this? This is not the plan that I thought we were on. And yet I recognized that the way he was orchestrating things, like me getting home and our kids coming in, that there had to be a deeper meaning behind all of it. And I will share that one of the reasons we're at this beautiful place in San Diego is we had what I call a trifecta. 3 things happened that really made this occur. So the first thing was, one of the people that I went to Thailand with, that we actually met in LA and we all flew to Bangkok together. That was only at the end of May. She had told me about her horses, that she had a horse ranch in Temecula, California, which is kind of near San Diego, and that her horses were very healing. And so I was joking with her after all of this stuff happened with Chris, and even though he's doing well, she said she had this room where the horses could come in at night, and just seeing or being around the horses would make you feel better, that it would heal you. And so I said, we're going to need to bring Chris to the horses. And she said, you're welcome anytime. Please come and see me. I would love that. So I filed that away, right? That made sense to me. I was good. Well, then I heard, so many of you know that I was in Cambodia when I heard that Chris was having an issue. And we were working with the Marisi Foundation, getting a tour of their facility and operations, and meeting the survivors, the girls that had gone through sex trafficking. It was a mind-changing experience. It was so impactful to my soul, okay? And when I left, it was the last day, and I hadn't had a chance to, have closure. That's how it felt, no closure. And so I heard that they were coming to Marisi, and they were coming to Marisi at this specific time because GYLS, which is a program that Tony does for teens, the Global Youth Leader Summit, is what we had modeled, what we do in Africa and Romania and the other areas of the country that we're going to go to. I know Moni has done Poland. They've got one happening in Saint Martinique in a couple months for French-speaking teens. We just have so many things that we're excited about. And so as this plan was forming, I heard that the group was going to be in San Diego, and I thought this would be fantastic. I would love to be a part of seeing the group again and bringing in some friends to learn about the system. And so I shared it, and we talked about going to San Diego and getting there. And then GYLS was something that Chris had done in 2024, and then I went off and did this with other people in the different locations around the country. But we were thinking about doing GYLS again this year, although Chris had flight school, and then because of his illness, like we weren't sure if he was going to be done in time. And then with the illness, it took it off the table completely. So we had friends that come from all over the world, and we thought it would be great to see them. So now we know that OM has an event at GYLS, so we get to see our friends, and all is well. And then Chris gets a call from a friend of ours that started Platt when he did, and we've kept in touch, and we love them dearly, he and his wife. And he said, oh, you should come visit us. And they live in San Clemente or Valencia, not too far away. And so there were 3 points in California that we could do all at the same time. And my family is from near here as well. And I just thought this is the right time. We haven't been able to travel for a year, and we love to travel. And we have done some trips to San Diego and California before, and enjoy this vibe and the beach, and things like hearing the rocks pull out, or the water pull through the rocks here. And so we did it. We pulled the lever, and we came out here to see this magnificent area. So if you just came on and you haven't seen what I'm looking at while I talk to you guys, this is Point Loma. This is what I'm seeing out of my room deck. Off to the side, there's a little area, and then we've got the channel, so lots of boats have been coming in through, headed off. And like I said, there's San Diego. Beautiful location, very low-key, very enjoyable. And then there's the rocks down below that we're hearing the water on. You can kind of see the seawater there. They had a phenomenon last night called king tides, and the water rose just about up to the seawall, and the waves weren't that big. I thought it was going to be like this dramatic waves. It wasn't quite like that, but it was pretty nice. So, you guys, life can be as magnificent as you make it. So number 1 is declaring it. Number 2 is doing things that check off the boxes of making you feel happy, making you feel like life is magnificent. You're in control. Like I said, I waited till I had 3 points of confirmation, but you don't have to. You can look at your list of things that you want to do in your life, and you can take an action. It doesn't even have to cost money, but you can take an action towards the things that matter to you, and you'll start to notice changes. One of the things we do with Tony's RPM program is we talk about the outcome. And I put a circle here because it's like a target. If you were shooting archery, right in the center, you put the thing that's most important to you, the outcome of why you do anything. And then you you brainstorm all the ways that you could accomplish that outcome. And one of the things we have people do is dig a little bit deeper and understand the emotion behind the thing. Because a lot of times it's not the thing, the outcome you're wanting, it's how you want to feel, or how you perceive you will feel when you get that outcome. So then, knowing that emotion that you're trying to achieve, a supplement, then you can start to say, how can I get more of that emotion? And see how that benefits you. It might be that you think there's only one way to get to the thing you want, but when you recognize it as the emotion that you're trying to achieve, there could be 5 different paths to achieve that emotion on a regular basis. And none of them require the tediousness or the resources that you would need with the thing that your brain told you, which is why it's so important to get into your heart and really understand on a whole system level what's important to you, which is why I like my breathwork so much. Now, I've been out of town, I've been doing things, I've been running here and there, but breathwork will be starting up again very soon. One of the things that was absolutely lovely was yesterday was when we got to meet our friends at GYLS a little bit before the luncheon started for Marisi. And there were so many people, so many friends that we got hugs from. So many people were happy to see my husband up walking around looking like the miracle he is, right? I told him afterwards, I said, it's kind of like I'm walking around with like Lazarus. They don't go into that part in the Bible where like, how was Lazarus' life later? Like when people would see him and they'd be like, so you were risen from the dead. How did that feel? Like what's new? It's kind of this surreal thing. And so like people that had seen the posts and had been praying for Chris were so happy to see him. We had one lovely young gentleman that cried when he saw Chris. He said, I've been praying so hard. I was so devastated to hear what had happened to you. And he said, I'm just so happy to see you, to see that you're alive, to see that you're doing well. And so what a blessing, right? What a true blessing to have people like that in our lives. And it was like that over and over again. Everybody that we hugged, everybody that we saw. It was just a beautiful, magnificent experience. So maybe the third thing I can say is feel it as it's happening, okay? Enjoy the moment and label it as magnificent, whatever it is. So hi, Kathy, glad you're here. So I'm loving life. I hope you are loving life. This is Midlife Magnificent for sure. I don't know how long I'll continue doing it. I obviously would love to do it for 60 more years. This series is probably going to last just a couple, maybe a week longer, because we'll be going into life mastery, leadership mastery at the end of this month. And I usually will kick in with a new series right around the Tony Robbins events. So lovely to have you here. Go ahead and put in the comments, what's magnificent in your life right now? Would love to hear. And if this teaching was valuable to you, put in some insights, put in some thoughts. It's good for me, but it's also really good for you to write down the things as you're learning them, so that you can hang on to that insight, put it into your heart like I do in my breath work, and capture it as a moment that works with your soul, that gives you the understanding, a deeper understanding of who you are and what you're here to achieve. Because you matter. And you are designed for greatness and a purpose. And I would love to help you reach that goal, whether through my breath work or through my coaching services. Just reach out to me, DM me, let me know how I can be of support to you. And just know that I'm here for you whenever you need me, and you are a champion. All right? Take care, and I will see you real soon.